Hey guys, we're going to go over the AAA for Mansfield Fire Department. This works better. This works for the 1 3/4 and the 2-inch line. We're going to go over a couple of quick tricks to make sure that it loads quick and easy. So for starters, best thing to do is have 2 guys do the load. We find if you get 2 or 3 or 4 guys involved with it, there's too many hands in the fire, and it just makes things confusing and too difficult. One of the first things I want to go over is to start the load. It's very important you pay attention on your truck specifically on where your Preconnect connects. If it's going to be on the left side, the right side, front or back of the truck. And this being, we don't want to just start with a pigtail that hangs out and loops over the front of our load, because that cuts out where our Preconnect can come out of this side of the truck by 50% because we got a line in the way. If we simply start our load, bringing our Preconnect in, put a fold in it, like so, and throw it over the edge, just leave it right there like that. And this is where we're going to start our load. Okay, this gets this pigtail out of the way, leaves us room to connect it in the truck, and it doesn't get in the way on our deployment. With the quints, you would not be able to do it right here. You would need to take your pigtail and start it at the truck with your tray on the ground to make sure that you have enough room for your AAA to completely deploy before when you pull it. All right. So we get our fold in here, make it nice and flat, keep it nice and neat. A nice neat load comes off the truck a lot easier than a sloppy load. All right, so with our AAA, like I said, best thing to do is get 2 guys. You want to start by getting your hose deployed out as far as you can. If you've got enough room to go straight out all 200 feet, then great. If you don't, you have to lay it out, then that's fine. You want to go find what's about 2/3 of your hose. Take that back to the tray. Now this is real important where when you have your 2 firefighters, that the 2 of them are communicating to each other to make sure that they're not doing double duty on their hose. Basically what they're going to do is kind of run it like a belt, hand over hand on both ends. Firefighter 1 giving or taking as needed, and firefighter 2 giving or taking as needed, until you get to the point where your nozzle and the middle of your loop is about at the same place. Easier for firefighter 2 over there at the end to do the communicating on this, because he knows how much hose he needs and how much he doesn't. Firefighter 1 over here has to just pay attention on which way that he's pulling to just make sure that to make it easier on the other end. Once they get their distances right, they want to make sure they got the line all flat. Make sure there's not any turns or kinks or anything like that in it. It's also important that the hose is completely drained and has as much air out of it as possible. Then they'll start stacking the triple load. While they're doing that, if you notice on the other end here, they've taken the nozzle off, left the nozzle off. That allows air to kind of come out of the end of the hose as you're loading it. You can put the nozzle on after the hose is loaded in the bed. See down here in the tray where we started, where we've got our fold underneath here. You can see our fold. It's just folded over, laid nice and flat. Our AAA comes to the edge of the tray. We want it to stop right here at the edge of the tray on both sides every time we do our fold. So we got our lay in. At this point in time, it's not bad to get a third firefighter to come and help pull hose up. Remaining with your 2 firefighters working on your creases and your cross lay here. It's helpful to use your hand to hold the crease down right where you want it, or you can even, some people like to step on that crease on the end just to keep it nice and crisp crease, nice clean folds and a clean load so it deploys easier. Continue with a crisscross pattern as you're loading that AAA. Sometimes you'll have to work that crisscross. Sometimes your cross will be over here and sometimes over here. If you always do it right in the center, then you'll end up with a big hump in the middle and it won't fit in your tray. As you can see here with our load, we ended up with some air in there, and this was a dry line. So you can consider using a hose roller to roll out your hose right before you load it. If you do, of course, fold your ends over so no air sucks in. And if you notice here, we just put our nozzle on at the end. Our nozzle's right with our fold. So if you were pulling from this side of the truck, you could look in right here, you can see your nozzle and your fold and grab it and pull it out. If you're pulling from the other side of the truck, the not nozzle side, then you're just gonna grab your top bundle and just pull it right out. Then you got your nozzle and your fold and you take off with it from there. Once you load it in the truck, hook up your pigtail, and your pigtail is not crossing over the front of your line where it's gonna be pulled, so it doesn't get in your way.